Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Today for science, we're going to be talking about moon phases. We're going to get introduced to that, the different ones, and we're going to talk all about it. So come on and read with me, and then we're going to answer some questions, and then we'll be good to go. Let's do this. Phases of the moon definition. The portion of the moon that we can see from the Earth on any given night is called the moon's phase. As the moon orbits around the Earth, sunlight is reflected off of the moon's surface and the light reaches us on Earth. The phase of the moon depends on where the moon is in its orbit. It takes about 1 month for the moon to make a full orbit around the Earth, meaning the phases of the moon repeat about once a month. To better understand what causes the phases of the moon, let's break it down. The moon does not make its own light, it only reflects it. It does not produce any light on its own. The light we see coming from the moon is actually light reflected from the sun, kind of like a mirror. The sun is the strongest source of light in our solar system. Every moon and planet that is visible in our solar system is reflecting light from the sun. The reflected light enters our eyes, and that is what allows us to see. The moon is smaller than the sun, but appears the same size because it's closer. Even though the moon and sun appear to be the same size from the Earth, the sun is actually 400 times bigger than the moon. They look the same size due to an optical illusion. Objects that are close to you appear larger. You can experiment at home to prove that. You can hold a quarter in your hand 1 arm's length away, ask a friend to hold a dinner plate on the other side of the room. Have the person move closer or further until the plate is the same size as the quarter. The phases of the moon are caused by its orbit around the Earth. As the moon orbits the Earth, we see a different amount of moon is lit from the sun from our perspective on Earth. So sometimes the moon is completely lit and other times it's completely dark. The illuminated shape of the moon is visible from Earth is called a phase. When you cannot see the moon at all, this phase is called a new moon. Several days after a new moon, we see the moon as a thin sliver of light called the crescent moon. As the moon appears larger and larger, it becomes a quarter moon and then a gibbous moon. A full moon is visible when the whole side of the moon facing the Earth is completely illuminated by the sun. On a clear night, a full moon looks very bright. The moon's surface has markings we can see from Earth. The moon's surface has markings on it called rays that are visible from Earth. Rays spread out from a crater formed by the impact of an asteroid. When asteroids hit the moon, the material from the moon was thrown in different directions, just like when Dr. Jeff used a slingshot to launch a paintball into the flour and cocoa powder. Another feature of the moon we can see are lunar Maria. The word Maria means seas in Latin. Early astronomers thought the big dark spots on the moon were actual seas of water. However, these dark areas on the surface of the moon are not made of water. They're actually caused by an ancient volcanic eruptions. And next, we are going to test your knowledge. What causes the moon to look like it is changing shape? We learn that as the moon orbits the Earth, the sun always shines on half of it. But from Earth, we may only see part of that illuminated surface. The phase we see depends on where the moon is in its orbit around the Earth. Where does the light of the moon come from? We learn that the moon is actually lit by the sun, and it's important to remember that the moon does not make its own light. It only reflects light from the sun, like a mirror. What makes the moon and sun look like they're the same size? The moon is smaller than the sun, but it's also 400 times closer, and that makes it seem like it is the same size as the sun. What causes tides in Earth's oceans? The pull of the moon's gravity affects the water of the oceans and actually causes our tides. Great job, guys. Thanks for learning about moon phases with me. You rock. See you soon.